Greetings, adventurers, and apologies for missing another episode yesterday. I actually just fell asleep on the couch before I could get a chance to record, and then I just went to bed. So we're doing another 10 minutes today instead. We are on Apothecary skills and the roleplay effects of the Apothecary skills. So, roleplay effects. For additional essence costs, you may add roleplay effects onto your items. These effects will last for the duration of the item and always be in effect on the character when holding the item. You may add roleplay effects to your potion or poisons. Light roleplay effects are free. Moderate or heavy roleplay effects may be added by spending additional flicker. Duration of the effect. Light effects are short-lived, lasting 30 seconds. Medium effects can last for 30 minutes. Heavy effects can last for 3 hours. Excellent. Guide to writing roleplay effects. You may, if you choose, add roleplay effects to your creations. While we do not wish roleplay effects to indicate to characters what they are thinking or feeling. We instead encourage you to describe the physical or environmental effects of the creation on the target, so that it may allow them to interpret and act accordingly as their character sees fit. For example, your creation, rather than stating that the target is frightened, might instead describe that the character's heart is racing and they feel a pit in their stomach, or that very loud noise or sudden move is a shock to the senses. Or that every loud noise. That makes a lot more sense. So they might feel a pit in their stomach, or that every loud noise or sudden move is a shock to the senses. Other roleplay effects may include direct instructions. For example, do you wish to seek out adventure? Sensory effects like all colours seem brighter, or all sounds seem muffled. Or they may include perceived environmental factors such as the air feels thin to you, the ground is moving. Additional notes. Consent and collaboration. Heavy roleplay effects in particular should be discussed between players and Menhirs Fate staff to ensure that they fit with ongoing narrative and they are enjoyable for everyone involved. We will not approve any roleplay effects that we feel do not meet our standards for safety or codes of conduct. Some effects such as love potions, etc., are not allowed and must reflect the game's community standards. Your enchantment and apothecary refs will not allow those effects to work. For this reason, please check them before creating any roleplay effects. Hidden effects. The apothecary may choose to hide the effects behind a flap on the fizz rep that can be closed and only open upon drinking, or by being observed by an apothecary. That's Apothecary for you, and we are now, all being well, moving over to the next chapter called Enchanting. Enchanting. Subchapter, Enchanting Skills. Subchapter, Enchanter. 3 XP. This skill allows you to make use of the enchanting skill and create items that have magical effect. When you select the enchanter skill, you are able to pick 3 effects from the enchanting table below. This is going to be one of those tables that I don't understand. It is one of those tables that I don't understand. Okay, we'll get to that later. So, enchanting table below. Please make sure you select an item to enchant as one of these picks, or you will not be able to make anything. Excuse me. Enchanter Mastery. 1 XP. Enchanting Mastery gives you another pick from the enchanting table. What is enchanting? Enchanting is the skill of creating magical items by combining abilities and resources. Each ability or effect has a base cost, and adding additional abilities increases the cost. These creations are tied to specific elemental spheres, which affect the final resource cost. What do I need to enchant an item? The enchanting of item requires essence. The type of essence needed will depend on the item you wish to create, and you may need several different types in order to create it. Depending on the item, the amount of essence needed will also vary. Essence is an ingredient that can be found via several sources in-game and can be supplied through your base character skill. But there are also many other in-game ways of finding essence. How do I enchant an item? To make an enchanted item in Menhirs Fate, there are a few simple steps to follow. First, pick your base abilities. After buying the enchanter skill, choose 3 base abilities, items or skills. These initial picks will indicate the type of item you can enchant. Okay, is that... I'm going to have a quick look at the table again. Base items or skills. I think this makes slightly more sense than the previous table because of the way this is described. So, you, after buying the choose 3 base abilities, items or skills. I'm not entirely sure yet what the items refer to, but never mind. At least I think I've figured out what the abilities and skills are. These initial picks will dictate the type of item you can enchant. You can add more base abilities, items or skills at the cost of 1 XP per ability. This will give you a broader spectrum for creating items. So basically, the more XP you then have, the more things from that table you can choose. I think. That's first. Then creating. So pick your base abilities. I had the 2 points. Then creating the enchantment. Visit an enchanting station, which can be found in the city centre and also in the nation camps to perform the required roleplay. Please make sure you have the required essence in advance of this, as you will need to hand it to the referee looking after this station. Roleplay the creation of the item. This may take up to 5 minutes and may include any thematic roleplay. A referee will check your item and approve it. Please hand over the required essence to the referee at this point. Once approved, they'll print a ribbon for your item and provide you with a card detailing the enchantment. Important! You must have the ribbon on the item and the card with you to use its effect. The enchantment lasts for 1 year before it fades. How does it work? What you can enchant? What you can enchant is dictated by the base abilities you have chosen in Enchanter. Any further abilities you have... Oh, in Enchanting. What you can enchant is dictated by the base abilities you have chosen in Enchanter. Any further abilities you have added along the way. Okay. At least one of these picks must be a base item, as in sword, clothing, armor, etc. This dictated the type of items you can enchant. You may have multiple types of base items, meaning that you can enchant any item of those types. For example, Jess Bobbins has 1 base item, polearm. They can now enchant polearms. How you can enchant them. The other abilities and skills you take in Enchanter determine what magical effects you can enchant onto your items. So Jess Bobbins has chosen Rend and Fuel Vigor. This means that they can now do any of the following. Enchant a pole arm that gives the wielder the use of Rend. Only usable if they have Vigor. Enchant a pole arm that gives the wielder the ability to call Rend once a day. Okay. Anyway, continuing with some of the reading. The pole arms that Jess Bobbins makes still require the wielder to have the ability to use a pole arm, but Jess may also pick up an extra pick of pole arm use in Enchanter at a later date. I'm sorry for all the brief pauses in between, but yeah, I'm trying to figure out what they actually mean. I think it's getting slightly clearer at least. I think that the table bit is starting to have fewer mysteries. Anyway, that was 11 minutes, but with a bit of pause in between. Have a good evening. Bye.